Hi, and thank you so much for tuning in for your September Written in the Stars Horoscope. I'm Madeline if we haven't met before, and if you're back, thank you so much. So, this month, astrologically speaking, we've got some pretty big shadow aspects to work with. Pluto, the planet of power and transformation, will finish up his retrograde this month, going direct on September 28th. So that means that this month, because he's the planet of, the underworld, of secrets, of death and rebirth, it's a perfect month to really think about uncovering and unpacking uncomfortable truths or things that you've been hiding from yourself, especially if they've been keeping you resistant to doing what you feel that you need to do, or that you've been kind of resisting a necessary evolution. Pluto is all about getting intimate with our fears and our desires, and he shows us that doing our shadow work really keeps us from doing shady work. So to hear more about what this Pluto direct aspect is doing for you, you can check out your horoscope on my blog, writteninthestars.co. So this month, as usual, I'll be doing your horoscope, a story of your month, followed by a fiercely focused spread to give you some really concrete action steps to take to make the most of the month. I really appreciate you. I hope if you like this video that you will like it, and subscribe if you want more, and I hope that this gives you a really magical month and a beautifully resonant reading. Now, without further ado, on to your reading. Hey Aquarius, how are you? It's nice to quote-unquote see you, to see you. Nerd, it's been a while. I appreciate you tuning in, even though life has me a little late. I'm excited to see what this month holds for you. Let's see. Okay, and I wanted to say that Pluto, when I was meditating and praying on your energy, I always shuffle and pray about you before I even turn on the camera and shuffle again for you. Pluto happens to be doing his retrograde and then his move forward in your house of secrets and the past. The house of unfinished business, the house of pain, painful memories. Wow. Spirit's like, yeah, are we talking? Let's talk. My gosh, the sun is crazy. I'm gonna make sure that comes into focus for you, no worries. Okay, so talk about unfinished business, the Judgment card saying it's time to make a choice, it's time to bring yourself back to life. Okay, let me just do one of these so you can see what you're looking at. Is that a little better? I hope. Okay. Basically, as they say, kind of a come to Jesus conversation. Gabriel's blowing the horn and asking you to come to a massive conclusion, a big decision that's been weighing on your mind. So some of you may be you may have some very intense topics introduced to you this month, or you may just really be feeling compelled to finally clear out some stuff from your past. I can't punish myself with this anymore, or even perhaps, look, I have unfinished business and I have to wrap something up. I have to speak my truth, even if it's awkward. I have to begin. It's a really beautiful opportunity, honestly. Pluto in the 12th is hey, wow, if you've been waiting to have, oh my goodness, a new beginning, you're on. Wow. Okay. That's powerful. We're going to talk about them in just a second. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, Aquarius. What does Aquarius need to know? September 2017. Aquarius. Aquarius. Interesting. Aquarius. What does Aquarius need to know for their highest good this month? Always for their highest good. this guy like leapt right out. I'm just gonna move these guys up so you can see more clearly. More for Aquarius in September. What is Aquarius? Aquarians of Sun, Aquarian Moon, Aquarius Rising. What do they need to know, Spirit? Always for their highest good. Beautiful. Especially coming after the Devil. I like to see that Wheel of Fortune. One more, please. Spirit, the story of September for Aquarius. Okay. It's the You Can Do It card, Aquarius. Okay. All right. Let's have a look here. So, definitely making a big decision and speaking a massive truth this month for many of you, Aquarius. Some of you may be cutting ties. Some of you may be just saying, look, this is how it is, or this is how I see it, and we got to deal with this right now. Like, record scratch, like the room goes silent, like, yeah, I just said that, now what? Yeah, because I feel this is you. Okay. So before I want to say before I go on with your reading, Aquarius, of course, if you haven't been here before, these are general readings. So Spirit gives me a lot of messages and some will resonate more than others. So just listen to your intuition and what rings bells and resonates with you. And if something really doesn't ring a bell at all and sounds completely foreign, either it hasn't manifested yet, but also very likely could be for another Aquarian. And, you know, Spirit always wants to come through with what is the most important. And of course, these readings are for the people that watch these readings and not for anybody who doesn't, you know. And I say that because whenever I see a queen and king of the same suit in the same reading, let alone sitting right next to each other, let alone looking at each other, you know, because he could have ended up in her position and then they would have been looking away from each other. That to me is an indication of a real opportunity for love. And if not love, a wonderful partnership, a very complementary, very positive indicator for, you know, some of you may be moving into a business partnership or looking for somebody to work with on a creative project. And if it is love, then this is like a powerful one, particularly because the King and Queen of Cups are the King and Queen of Emotions. There's a lot of healing energy here. Very... These are very two intuitive people. Very compassionate. They've done a lot of reflecting on their lives and why they are who they are, and therefore they can take great comfort in each other. You know, you don't tend to live as much in your emotions, so it may like hit you out of nowhere how much you feel, and it's like a very... Okay, I want to preface this also. I feel, and in my experience in talking to Spirit and dealing with people, feel that we have several soulmates in our lives, and they're not all romantic or meant to last forever. So when I say soulmate or soulmate relationship, I'm not saying this is your one and only on the planet. You know, I don't want to sell you anything, but I do feel like this king and queen, they do represent a soulmate type relationship. Now, again, these are general readings, Aquarius. So for some of you, this could be a couple that you know, a couple that is perhaps, or a pair of partners, as I said, that provide a lot of support and healing for you. Could be like these are your parents, or this is a couple that you are friends with.
Um, Okay, so Spirit doesn't usually come through. I don't know that I've ever said this to you, Aquarius, but I'm also feeling like this could be a situation where there's like a third party in the relationship. Like maybe these two people are together, and I mean, again, if this doesn't resonate and doesn't sound right to you, I don't want you to worry about that, but I always say what Spirit says, and for some of you it is talking about the fact that either you are the person on the side knowingly or unknowingly, or there is something that you are kind of feeling on the outside of that you'd like to get into. And I feel for the majority of you, though, that this is very positive. I feel these are two people who bring you two very different they nourish you in different ways. The King of Cups is kind of like a psychologist, like somebody who can analyze your feelings and help you sort through them. Whereas the Queen is more kind of a nurturing healer or intuitive healer. You know, I would say that if the King of Cups would be the psychologist, whereas she is like, you know, the Reiki or acupuncture or like tarot reader, like alternative type intuitive therapy more than the sort of more rigid, dogmatic psychology type of advice. I feel these people bring good information and help you reflect on some things that actually, like, some of you, it could be they employ you, this couple. Like maybe you babysit, maybe you are a housekeeper, maybe you just do something and you work for a couple or a pair of partners. I feel like there's money in this for you. I feel like in September, you get this opportunity to address a lack you have been feeling in your life. And a massive part of that is making that decision and really committing to what you want to do. I also feel that there is somebody, this Queen of Pentacles. So court cards are different from the other cards in that they represent real people running around in your life. So, you know, brother, sister, friend. Again, who is this couple? Is it your parents? Is it people you're working for? Because again, you know, Aquarius, general readings. In some sense, there is security and family related to this. So for those of you for whom there is a third-party situation going on, like maybe that person is a family, maybe you're concerned about that, or maybe you just have an inkling, and that is why they're saying some of you need to ask, like, hey, is something going on? Is there something I don't know about? Or, hey, I've had this feeling and I just need to tell you. I feel that frees you up, those of you for whom that resonates. Like, there's this feeling in September, and I don't feel like it's new. I feel like, as a matter of fact, if anything, it's like, yeah, I've been feeling this way, a little bit like I'm struggling, a little bit like I'm all by myself in this, and you're very tired and done with feeling that way. You know, as individualistic as you are and capable of being on your own, Aquarius, it's not where you shine the most. You know, you are a social sign, you are a humanitarian, and you are... your ideas are so amazing and nutty, like, you mad scientist, you genius. Like, we want to see your vision. I feel like some of you have had some fear and some holding yourself back. Some of you are falling back on old habits because you don't want to face this decision. This is why I say these are general readings, Aquarius. Like, that's why for some of you it's like, wow, there's momentum and you're making your vision happen and there's money to be had and, you know, support. And for others of you, it's like you're holding back from making this decision. So just like astrology, the same aspects can have different effects depending on your free will, which is always the most important thing. You know, we could all be presented with the same opportunity but make vastly different decisions just based on who we are and where we are in life when these things are presented to us. So it benefits you, Aquarius, to be honest with yourself and with other people. If you really want the security and the nourishment of the long term, you need to face up to yourself. The devil is here, and the devil is not Satan. The devil does not represent evil. Tarot is based on pre-Christian archetypes. The devil is more like Pan, the little goat god with horns from mythology that would get in trouble for chasing little nymphs and doing other lusty and / mischievous things. Spirit is saying a lot of you are choosing, and there's no judgment in this, I swear. You've been through a lot and you've been struggling, and for some of you a defense mechanism has been to strap on a blindfold and not listen and not move and just be like, you know what? I would rather be in a stalemate than a loss. So purgatory over hell, that is this card. And it's interesting, they have me put it that way, purgatory or over hell, and then we have the devil here, which again, devil is not Satan. However, the devil does represent like the personal hell that we create for ourselves. That's why he's not this scary mythic character for you to be frightened of. It's you. We are all our own devil. We all have, quote, you know how they say, we all have our demons. So this is about facing yours, Aquarius, and being really real. What is it? The devil represents addiction and bad habits and temptations. So what is it for you? Is it a literal like substance abuse issue? Do you drink too much? Do you smoke? Do you do drugs and it's negatively affecting your life and you feel like attached to it? Is it a toxic relationship that you feel attached to? Is it a sex addiction? What is it? Is it just bad habits and self-sabotage? In which way do you hold yourself back unknowingly? Because the devil, like I referred to in the introduction about Pluto, that is the underworld. That is the shadow. That is like what you have maybe repressed or used to hide from yourself. Stop hiding from yourself. There is wonderful bounty to be had and enjoyed. And that's what I was going to say about this Queen of Pentacles character earlier. I feel that for some of you, this could be a mother or a friend that feels very maternal, because the Queen of Pentacles is very nurturing, very much like the Earth Mother, the fertile, warm, grounded, like nourishing woman. And this could be a man. King and Queen in the court cards have nothing to do with gender, so this could be 2 men or 2 women in a couple together or a partnership. And this could be a male Queen of Pentacles. Just depends on you and who it is in your life. And if this is ringing bells, Aquarius, and you'd like to talk one-on-one or book an email reading, my shop is linked below. Check it out. So for some of you, again, this Queen of Pentacles is a mother. And for some of you, just a nurturing friend, that friend in the group who is like the motherly one, or the person that you know that you can turn to for some just kind of nurturing, practical, real life advice. You know, you might go to the Queen of Cups for a tarot reading, but you sit down at brunch with the Queen of Pentacles to like ask her what you should do about your finances, or to just get somebody to go, you know what, that sounds like some bullshit. That does not sound real to me. That sounds like crap. Whereas the Queen of Cups might deliver it to you the same message, but in a much gentler way. I feel like the Queen of Cups is somebody you can go to for a reality check, is the phrase that Spirit is using. And they don't always give me that for her, but that's who it is for you Aquarians. Okay. So making this choice brings you more stability, brings you a chance to see your vision come to reality, but also forces you to come face to face with yourself, with your maybe self-described flaws or weaknesses or demons. And it's your opportunity to recognize, just like in the picture, if you look closely, that nothing is actually holding you down. Nothing is actually chaining you to this person or these circumstances or these substances or this obsession. You can walk away whenever you want to. The chains are just laying at their feet, but the threat is enough to keep them there. It's always your choice, Aquarius. And there's no judgment. You can also stay there for a little while longer until the pain of your personal hell becomes enough that you choose to walk away. It's always up to us, and Spirit loves you unconditionally regardless. But this is just another, they're waving another flag at you this month. And possibly a bright red one for some of you. That if you want a different life, you have to be different. The world moves for the moved. And they're telling me there is something you want more than you want these defense mechanisms and behaviors and like patterns and substances. And that is a beautiful, exciting new chapter. That's movement, that's a changed life, that's like the beginning of a new cycle. The Wheel of Fortune, literally fortune, the card of like good luck and positive momentum and the end of a cycle. So if you want to, Aquarius, if you're honest with yourself, you can put an end to a negative cycle this month. It's not easy. You might feel bandaged and tired and bruised afterward, but you will also feel proud. And you will be the winner coming off the battlefield. Like, yeah, I'm bandaged and bruised, but look, what can you imagine what I did to these 9 other guys? Like, I took all their weapons and set them up as trophies to remind myself and to show everybody else what happens when you try to stop me from my destiny, what I'm meant to have, what I'm meant to be, what I'm meant to experience. So, on that exciting note, let's look at your fiercely focused spread. Let's see. And for those of you who haven't been here before, Aquarius, this is just a quick 5-card reading, like a quick summation of the theme of your month, along with the advice that Spirit wants to give you about the 4 elements or realms of your life: earth, air, water, fire. So money and health, love, relationships, wow, beautiful, the mental realm, and your creative and spiritual side. So the theme for your month is the sun. Clarity, a beautiful card, especially to see after you have the Devil, that card of like things being in the shadow. The sun is about being wonderfully, beautifully, shamelessly yourself. Like, you know, babies never go, oh my God, my thighs are so fat. Or I can't believe I haven't learned to walk yet. What a loser. Babies are so excited to be alive. Babies are thrilled to be what they are. They stick their feet in their mouth. Like, this is delicious and fascinating. Have that childlike enthusiasm this month. You know, Pluto moving through that house of secrets in the past means that the next little move he's going to make is through the sign of yourself. So consider this an opportunity to clear out all that bullshit so that you can strip off the armor, strip off the like mask. Who you are is enough. Who you are is shining. Like, you don't have to act like anything. You don't have to dress up. You're wonderful, Aquarius. You are uniquely you, and you are so powerful. That's the other word they're giving me, is powerful. You know, for those of you who feel like you're not ready to make that decision and like you're still under the sway of that devil, again, no judgment, but they want you to know you're more powerful than you think. And you do deserve it. You are valuable. You are loved. You are meant to have, you are meant to be loved and to experience joy because that is your natural state. Be the baby. In the good way, not the bad way. Okay, so now let's look at the physical and financial. What's going on with the earth element part of your life in September, Aquarius? What does Aquarius need to know to make the most of their money, their health, their job? What do they need to know, Spirit, in September? Slow and steady. Don't push yourself. You know, you're not in a rush. This is an important decision, so you want to know that you're making the right one. So be sure of every step. For some of you, I'm feeling like put a little more focus on your money. And also when it comes to the same as your money and, I was going to say, and working out, like go slowly, like don't push yourself. Proper form is more important than the number of reps. You know what I mean? Like if you do 5 squats perfectly, that's a lot better than 10 haphazard ones and then you slip a disc and you can't go back the next day. So, and with your money, it's like save up. Don't impulsively drop, you know, hundreds of dollars on something that moment because you saw it that moment. Think about it, sleep on it, save up slowly. Be a little bit conservative this month when it comes to your money, because Lord knows you are not conservative in very many ways, Aquarius, but this month it does benefit you to kind of plan your work and work your plan ahead. Think, you know, okay, so the Knight of Pentacles, you tell him to climb a mountain. He doesn't look at the top of the mountain and go, fuck that, like how am I ever going to do that? That's insane and I want to go home. He plans the next 3 miles and he gets there, paces himself, and then he plans the next 3 miles and then the next, and you see what I'm saying, okay? So don't overwhelm yourself. Plan your work and work your plan. Things are working out beautifully and naturally for you if you choose to move forward. You had all those wonderful momentum cards, and you've got this positivity saying yes, 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 like do it, make the changes. You're ready. So now let's see what you're thinking, what you're talking about, what you're hearing, what's going on in your mental realm, in your element, Aquarius. I've been seeing so much of that this month. So a lot of you are doing some fighting or dealing with some heartbreak this month. There could be a sense of separation, like maybe you're not talking to somebody or somebody's not talking to you, or you've been through a breakup recently, or maybe you're just in a rough patch of a relationship with someone, like someone you care about, whether that's romantic or just a friend or, you know, a family member. The sun is coming up, okay? The sun is coming up in September, and I feel that that same clarity is going to help with this relationship / betrayal issue. The truth needs to come out, and this is what Spirit is saying, okay? When you are willing to explore and acknowledge and divulge your own demons, you give other people the room, like, and the grace to do the same. So somebody else may not have been yet willing to say, you know what, I did some bad things too, or you know what, I can see that I've messed up in this way or that way. So it may be that when you shine a light for this other person on what you feel and have done, or like what you would like to address, they may return the favor. I'm really feeling just be honest and be your real self. Don't hide. The Knight of Pentacles and the Sun coming up alongside the Knight of Swords just says to me, like, be very natural. You know, you don't have to worry about pretty words. You don't have to know everything. You just have to be honest and be yourself in this situation. So speak your piece when it comes to whomever you're feeling a little bit separated from or betrayed by. And if you're ready to move forward, slow and steady, take it one day at a time, and just be yourself. And so on a related note, let's look at what you're feeling. What's going on in your heart in September, Aquarius? What do they need to know? Their highest good, Spirit. What can Aquarius do when it comes to their emotional well-being, their relationships? What can they do and expect for their highest good? Okay. So, beautiful card. And it's interesting that it's lined up with that Three of Swords. Again, this is where I get like, because Spirit is giving me a few messages, okay? So A, listen to the one that resonates with you. Okay, sorry. Spirit was like, okay, got more to say. All right. So some of you, this is definitely a romantic relationship that maybe you're either feeling a separation or betrayal from, or that you are working to heal a separation and betrayal from. Again, when I say separation and betrayal, it doesn't necessarily mean there's been a breakup, although it definitely can mean that. It can also just mean a rift or a rough patch and a feeling of being lonely. That's often what this is. I'm isolated in the situation. I'm isolated in my thoughts. Nobody can understand me. Nobody listens to me, that kind of thing. And this very much, like, it underlines what Spirit has been saying about, but if you just bring your cup to the table, if you can just be honest. And for some of you, like I said, this is why I wanted to say, and these are general readings, for some of you, this is a new relationship that is possible. New chemistry, new opportunity, new admiration, and a clean slate. So it's up to you, Aquarius, which one is resonating with you. Are you in a current partnership that you want to repair, or are you looking for a new one? Or perhaps the new one is what also helps you heal. Now, even as I say that, I want to be careful that I'm not giving you the idea that a new person should be a band-aid if you're still in the midst of a heartbreak. What I meant when I say help you heal is, like, if these are old scars, like abandonment issues from childhood, this is a person that can actually help you work through that. So I definitely don't mean, oh, you just had a breakup like a month or two ago, this person will totally be your band-aid. Like, no, not a fair way to treat somebody, and definitely not an idea that I want to propagate. So pardon my Libra-ness for climbing on a soapbox really quick, but I just wanted to make sure I was not saying anything unfair. It would be very un-Libran of me, my fellow air sign. Okay, so finally, let's look at what's lighting you up. What is exciting you or challenging you? In one way or another, what is bringing your passion out in September? What does Aquarius need to know or do about the fiery aspect of life for their highest good this month? September for Aquarius. September for Aquarius. Yeah, don't get tangled up in stupid squabbles. Don't get tangled up in little conflicts. I don't feel that this is anything particularly, like, bad to worry about. There are cards for really shitty arguments. But I feel like this is more like, don't get caught up in, like, little competitions. Definitely this always reminds me of, like, a Facebook, you know, comment war. Like, you know, ain't nobody getting their life changed and having an epiphany. Or not nobody, but rare is the person to have an epiphany and change their political or socioeconomic or whatever opinions because of a Facebook comment flame war. And same thing when it comes to, you know, those of you who are fighting for a relationship, fighting about who did the dishes, when it's really about, I feel like you don't help in this relationship and I'm carrying all the weight. Pushing that into, hey, you didn't do the dishes, is not going to do the trick. You need to be very honest and forthright and patient. So be patient. Don't get caught up in squabbles. When you are yourself this month, there's a real potential for healing. This also reminds me of that King and Queen of Cups from before, okay? So either you could be a loving couple, or there's a loving couple or pair of partners that can help you. Patiently, naturally work through this and feel like you are at your best, okay? I feel like you're doing a lot of healing in September, Aquarius, and you're going to feel so much more powerful. Clearing out that clutter. Pluto in the 12th house. Check your horoscope. Learn more about it. That's not a plug, I promise. I'm trying to help. All right. I love you, Aquarius. I'm really grateful that you watched this. I hope that it's helpful. Again, if you ever want to work together, my shop is linked below, and I hope I see you next month, my favorite month, October. Bye, Aquarius.